What's up, everybody? This is Whisky in the Six. I'm Rob. Doing the Springbank 10-year-old versus the Ledaig 10-year-old. It's Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. A whole bunch of people are celebrating in Texas right now for the second annual Bastards Ball with Whiskey Vault. I was invited to that, but could not make it, unfortunately, because of family obligations as well as work obligations. So, all the best to those guys, and happy Thanksgiving to all my fellow Canadians. Like I said, I'm doing the Springbank 10-year-old versus the Ledaig 10-year-old over here. I'm going to nose them, taste them, and give them a mark. And then I'm also going to throw in this Gordon MacPhail Ledaig 2005 Hermitage wood finish. This bottle was given to me by my buddy Jasper. So we're going to throw this one into the mix. It's 45%. It's just over 12 years old. So I think it'll be a nice comparison. And this is poured out over here. Alright, but starting with these two, I'm going to go with the Springbank first. Springbank, Campbelltown region, both known to be peated whiskeys. This one's from the Tobermory distillery, the Ledaig, the Glengyle distillery, obviously, with the Springbank. So, despite the fact that it's peated, you don't get a ton of heat on the nose. This one was open probably about 3 months ago. The Ledaig was open probably about 6 months ago. Okay, so they're both relatively full. Despite that, that's why I kind of wanted to do the review so that I can get to enjoy these a little bit more. Get a little bit of that Campbelltown funk, but not a whole lot of it. I find that Campbelltown funk shines most when it's a Springbank sherry cask. I really find that the sherry cask really accentuates that Campbelltown funk. But you do get it here for sure. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 10-year-old is mostly bourbon, but it does look like there might be a touch of sherry cask influence in there. Alright, really, really nice nose. Like I said, a touch of the funk. You get some like sweet vanilla biscuit type notes. Perhaps some brown sugar. And a distant grassy note as well. On the palate, yeah, really nice. Funk carries through. That vanilla biscuit's there for sure. A little bit of sugars. It's nice. Honestly, it's a little less peated than I would expect for a 10-year-old, but it's got a nice amount of peat. Yeah, really, really nice. Like I said, brown sugars, cookies, vanilla, maybe the slightest hint of like a barbecue note in there. Something grassy as well. Good mouthfeel. I love that it's 46%. No added color, unchill filtered like Springbank always does. Really, really nice. It's about $110 at the LCBO, but you can get that for much less elsewhere. I would definitely buy another bottle of this. This one's an 87 for me. Really nice stuff. Great everyday sipper. Now, if you gave this bottle to me 4 years ago, I'd probably mark it at like an 80, 81. I'm really starting to love Springbank, obviously. I think my palate is where it should be to appreciate this kind of whiskey. I don't think that this is a beginner level whiskey. I don't think Springbank in general is meant for beginners. Hazelburn, same thing. Longrow, definitely not. This one is a little bit more advanced, and I don't think people that are transitioning from bourbon or sweeter unpeated scotch should transition to this just yet. I think a safer bet would go to Highland Park 12, 10, something like that first then go to something like this after you've developed the palate a little bit more. Let's see what the Ledaig is like. Oh yeah, more peat for sure. Yeah. Ledaig is almost always bottled at 46.3%. I think the Tobermory's are bottled at the exact same percent as well. But this is the peated version of the Tobermory distillery. The Ledaig definitely has more peat. This one has a little bit more of that coastal influence. They're both coastal, but one is an island and one is just on the coast. Really, really nice nose on this one though. There's some barbecue sauce type sweetness. There's like a hickory note. I get some apple in there as well. On the palate, a lot more salinity on this one. Again, more smoke as well. Well, this is a tough one. This is a tough comparison. So definitely much more peated on the palate and the nose. Lots going on here. Great mouthfeel. I'm going to try the Springbank one more time. They're both so good. Okay, so at the LCBO, the Ledaig is, I think, $30 to $40 cheaper than the Springbank. So based on price, I would say that I would go with the Ledaig because, especially if you like peat, there's a lot going on over here. They're both excellent whiskeys. If I, mark-wise, like I said, the Springbank's an 87. I would even say that, that's tough. One more sip and then I'll give you a final mark. Really nice. Yeah, that's an 87 as well. It could even go as high as an 88. I would give the edge to the Ledaig, but both are excellent whiskeys. You really can't go wrong. If you get them at the same price, then it's a crapshoot. Depends on how much you like peat, because if you're a big peat guy, you're going to want to go with the Ledaig. If you want a little bit more subtle peat, you're going to want to go with the Springbank. Both are excellent though. I'm going to go to this Hermitage to see what a little bit of wine influence will do. This is obviously an independent bottling by Gordon MacPhail of Ledaig. Distilled in 2005, bottled in 2017. Lot going on the nose. Lots of berry fruits on the nose. You definitely get the peat as well. Barbecue style as well. But much more sweetness. Some like apple butter or apple barbecue sauce. Apple wood barbecue sauce even. Smoked like fig jam. Really nice on the nose. On the palate, super smooth. It's a little bit of sulfur. I noticed it a touch on the nose. I'm noticing it more on the palate, but not the off-putting style sulfur. Sweet as well on the palate. Those fruits carry through. That smoked fig jam, definitely on the palate. Like I said, maybe some apples, even apple wood barbecue sauce. I get that a little bit as well. Nice smoky notes here. Char notes for sure. And then that matchstick taste right off the hop when you first take a sip. Yeah, that's good. I think if this didn't have that sulfur note, it would be even better. But I believe these were well priced when they were released. Thanks again, Jasper. That's awesome stuff. I'm going to give this one an 84. So very good. I think the sulfur notes bring it down a touch, but also not the fairest comparison to this one right here because it's up against two really, really good whiskeys, all right? So all three of these are excellent. 87, maybe an 87 and a half if I gave half marks, and that one's an 84 over here. All right, guys? Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you really like it, you guys can hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell to get the notifications for when I do release a video. And you guys can support this channel on Instagram, Facebook, or Patreon. Cheers.